Now.
I bought a plant. Like maybe you can see this one behind me and this one behind me. Well, I bought more than two. I think I spent about $100 on plants, and I haven't actually had a plant since I think the late 90s. That's a few decades plantless. This morning I walked in and I found a leaf on the floor, a leaf. Well, actually, yesterday I found a leaf. Today I found two. And I know that they say before you even go into a relationship, you should get a plant and then get an animal and just see whether or not they stay alive. But I've lost 3 leaves in 24 hours. Which brings me to what I really want to talk about. It was like about a month ago, I thought, Karen, stop lying. Stop denying that you really do want to be in a relationship. You really would like to have a lover that comes over and to play with and have fun with and go on adventures with and snorkel and hike and camp and all of this stuff. You really would. So I think you've been telling yourself little porkies about that. And I had to get real with myself. I had to get real and go, yeah, Karen, you may have spent most of your life single. You may have had 5 marriage proposals. You may have been married. You may have been divorced. You may have had a number of lovers. You may have had a number of boyfriends. And you have spent most of your life single. And it's time to get a plant. Like just to explore, because you know what? When you've spent most of your life single, you have ways of being and ways of doing and ways of having that are specific. And could you really give what is needed? Because when there's a relationship, there's you, there's that person, and then there's the relationship. Can you really put the care and love and desire and compassion and collaboration and communication? Can you really do it? Do you want to do it? So I started with a plant, and maybe I've gone a little bit backwards because I have been house sitting and caring for animals. So I have cared for some cats, and yeah, actually that first lot of cats I cared for, I ended up spoon feeding a cat because it was an old cat and it was a glorious old female cat. And she's in those last stages of life and had forgotten how to feed. And I had this intuitive hit that if I held the spoon up to her nose, she may smell the food and remember. And she did. She opened. And here I am spoon feeding a cat. And she ate more than she'd eaten in a very long time. And then I cared for 2 German shepherds, and I was like Diana, the huntress, attempting these 2 German shepherds a walk at the same time. Now that failed miserably, and I ended up on my ass, being pulled along the ground, noticing the plants as I'm going along, wondering if I can get these animals back to their house in one piece. And I did. I was determined. We spent a somber afternoon after that event. But these dogs love me, and I go back and visit them, and they jump all over me, and Zeus gives me a high 10 and nearly knocks me over because he's bigger than me and weighs more than me, but they love me. And then I cared for 2 other dogs, and one dog was so terrified of every person on the planet. And I was able to enticed her and magnetized her to me just this once and put her collar on just this once. And no other time in that week could I get her to walk for me until the last moment. The last days I was there, and she would forget she was terrified of me and come up and touch me and then realize she was terrified and run away. And then the last day when the owners came home, she came up to me and jumped all over me and loved me and was just realizing that I was the perfect companion the whole time. So I've moved through, birds. I cared for birds. One died, but that wasn't my fault. Like, it was the day after I arrived. There was a terrible storm. And I go, no, but that wasn't my fault. I know it wasn't. And now I've got my plants. And I like a big cup of tea. And I wondered if I put this plant in a big cup of tea, because I really like a big cup of tea, maybe it would work. And even though I've lost some leaves, this one is looking really great and it's going for the light. So maybe I can do it. Maybe I do have the capacity to put the love and care, and maybe it's okay in the realm of relationship that we lose a leaf every now and then. And we don't have to be perfect. We just have to turn up with love and care and the capacity to have a good belly laugh.